that's right, pigeons are veterans, and you've been disrespecting them for years. Yeah, in World War I alone, 500,000 pigeons accompanied soldiers, sailors, and pilots into the battlefield, delivering intelligence, distress messages, and saving thousands of lives. And you're gonna spook them on the street? Really? You're gonna disrespect a veteran like that? We already don't do a good enough job, and now you just do better. Some examples of our valiant little pudgy guys, little companions in war. I have some examples here. And also, just a little quick fact, their success rate for delivering these messages, which is their main job to both world wars, they were in both of them, is they had a 95% message delivery rate. And you're gonna see in a little bit, that's really impressive with the conditions they were fighting under, especially when you consider the conditions for people, let alone a pigeon. Anyway, so the first hero we have, Cher Ami, he's a little French guy, and he was a French messenger pigeon who saved a battalion of 194 soldiers from an early grave in World War I. Now, he was tasked in the heat of battle. There was bombs getting thrown when they weren't supposed to be. So he was tasked to send a ceasefire to the Allies in the headquarters, which was really far, and it was like crunch time. Like you don't have any time. They're gonna die. As soon as Emmy took off and he went to deliver his message, he was immediately started to get shot at by German soldiers. Like immediately, because they knew, because we were using a lot of pigeons in the war, so they knew. And while he was getting shot at to deliver his message, he did actually get shot down. So he did get shot. However, he still delivered his message. He did it with a missing leg, a missing eye, and he was shot through the breast, but he still got it there and survived. And and he survived, and he got the Croix de Guerre from the French army, which is like a special award. Sorry, I'm so sorry if I mispronounced that. I took French 2 years in high school. As you can see, not a lot stuck. Anyway, and you can also, if you want to go visit Jeremy and pay your respects to this hero who saved hundreds, you can, because he's at the Smithsonian. A lot of these pigeons were immortalized with taxidermy. So if you want to go see him, go to the Smithsonian. I think it's in Washington. Yeah, I'm being told it is in Washington. So go pay your respects, because you haven't been to their descendants. But wait, there's more. Another pigeon. This is a U.S. pigeon, I believe. This is G.I. Joe from World War II. G.I. Joe. That is the most American name for a pigeon I have ever heard in my life. He fought in World War II, and one of his most impressive feats was he made a 20-minute trip of 20 miles and safely informed the U.S. Air Command to prevent an unnecessary bombing in Italy, which saved roughly up to about 1,000 lives. He also, and because of that amazing feat, he received the Dickin Medal, which a couple of these birds have gotten. It's like a medal a lot of them have gotten. So yeah, we love you, G.I. Joe. You did amazing. Proud of you. Another U.S. pigeon we have here. The U.S. had a couple pigeons. This guy's name was Mocker. But his career was nothing to mock, of course. He flew 52 missions in World War I, and his last mission, he was injured. He left it with a missing eye and part of his cranium destroyed. But again, he still completed his mission, despite that. Can any of you say that? Have anyone watching this video, have any of you, unless you're another veteran, a human veteran, have any of you ever done that? Have you ever been that committed to your job that even with a missing eye and part of your cranium destroyed, that you were able to finish your job? I bet most of you can't say that, unless you're an actual veteran. And you're still disrespecting them on the street? Let them be, they deserved it. Anyway, and he's still, also, you can see, if you want to visit him and pay respects to Mocker, you can find him in Fort Mammoth, New Jersey. We're gonna make a whole road trip out of respecting our pigeons, okay? Our next patriotic pigeon we have was named Commando, which is a very commanding name, if I do say so myself. Anyway, He also received a Dickin Medal. It's kind of like the Oscars of war-fighting pigeons. He completed 90 missions during World War II, in which he delivered crucial intelligence for Allied forces. And in fact, 3 of his missions in 1942, which were in the months of June, August, and September, he carried intelligence to Special Operations Executive, the British intelligence agency, from Germany, from German-occupied France. Enemy territory right there in World War II. And with that intelligence, it helped the Allied forces fight better against the Germans because they had like kind of inside things so they could better combat what they were doing. So Commando, thank you for your service, sir. You commanded a whole platoon and you didn't even have to go out there. Our next U.S. Patriot Pigeon is President Wilson. That is his name. He was a World War I veteran pigeon. His first deployment was with the Tank Corps. He was stationed in the foremost tanks to deliver deliver basically where the enemy machine guns were, so you could tell him like they're over there. Don't go over there, pretty much. And he was later transferred to the infantry. Infantry pride, I guess. I know they're very proud of the infantry over there. And he also participated in the Meuse Aragon, however you pronounce that, offense in 1918. And while flying through the weaves of German bullets in battlefield to deliver his message, he also lost, another pigeon lost a leg and was also shot through the breast. So it's very sad. That happened to both Jeremy and President Wilson. These people got good aim. However, not good enough, though, because he still, despite those injuries, delivered the message, and he survived and lived a quiet life until 1929. And you can also visit him at the Smithsonian, along with, I think it was Cher Ami that was also there. So while you're there paying respect to that French patriot hero, you can also check out President Wilson. He's also over there. We've taxidermied a lot of these pigeons. It's both honorable, it's also kind of morbid. Imagine if we did that with people veterans. I don't think that would go over very well. Our last example of pigeon patriotism at its finest is Spike from World War I. Also a tank rider, just like President Wilson, he set a flight time record, completing 20 kilometers in 21 minutes. Can you believe that? Impressive. Anyway. He also completed 52 missions during the Meuse, the thing I talked about earlier that I couldn't pronounce, that thing. It was really important. History buffs can roast me in the comments later. And he, in all of those things, like before we talked about President Wilson, he was shot. This guy didn't sustain any, he was unharmed in his 52 missions. Though I do have some hard things to say. Well, he did complete 52 missions, but he died from gas the day right before the war ended. Rest in peace, Spike. We love you, Spike. But he was crucial. He pay your respects. You're being disrespectful, these guys. This man died on the front lines to beat World War I, and you're disrespecting him? What are you doing? So, obviously, as you can tell, we're really good at domesticating them, but a lot of people don't know how long we've been training these pigeons. It's been a really long time. We've been rocking with pigeons since like 3000 BC in like Mesopotamia, which is like around the first recordings were like in where modern Iraq is right now. But yeah, we've been rocking with them for a while. We've been buddy-buddy. They've been delivering message for centuries now, which, when you think about it, how they're perceived now, is kind of messed up, guys. Not cool that you're doing that. They've done so much for us. We've domesticated them. We took them out of their natural habitat. We gave them jobs. We gave them honors and medals throughout, and they've helped us through wars and through so many things in history, so many different jobs. They've been our companions for centuries, and now they are relegated to the rats of the sky. disrespectful, guys. Not cool. Why are you doing that? And the reason they act so dumb sometimes is because we rip them out of their natural habitat and they don't know how to do anything anymore. So now they don't know how to make nests. They just do a couple sticks because they don't know what they're doing. Because we did that. We domesticated them. We made them heroes, and then when we had no real use for them, we kicked them to the curb and make fun of them now. And we make up propaganda about how they're dirty. They're not dirty, they're amazing. Why? If you don't appreciate pigeons by the end of this video, you're a lost cause. I'm sorry. You have to go the rest of your life knowing that you degrade veterans and amazing companions that we've had for centuries now. So you get to live with that now. And for all the people that now you've seen the light and you have seen this gospel of pigeons, I'm glad you joined our ranks. We're gonna need you on the front lines to defend these little guys because they deserve so much better than what we've done for them. So if you see a pigeon, toss them some seed or whatever, and tell them how much you appreciate them. And yeah, that's all.